All over the world, species clash in nature's savage battle of survival. From the banks of Kenya's Mara River to the scorched floodplains of the Zambezi, all are locked in brutal conflict. Animals fight tooth and claw to win food, territory, and rights to the bloodline. From the jungles of Africa to the Canadian outback. There are no rules. This is animal fight night. Let's watch and see. In most predator species, the loss or severe injury of a member signals the group to scatter and retreat. But for wild dogs, it triggers a terrifying opposite reaction. They treat the pack as a single shared life. Every injury to one member instantly pushes the entire pack's attack intensity to its peak. In a surge of fury, survival fear is completely overridden by the instinct to protect their bloodline. A single dog will charge straight into lethal jaws, willing to sacrifice itself to create an opening for pack mates to strike from the outside. The more damage the opponent inflicts, the more dangerous the pack becomes. The combination of numbers and loyalty transforms the pack into an unstoppable force. Concealed beneath murky water, the crocodile dominates through terrifying biological weapons. Instead of delivering a quick finish, it deliberately creates chaos, clamping onto a weaker member and dragging it under. Crocodiles rarely leave the water completely. They choose the boundary between shoreline and water as their primary battlefield. When the prey's distress calls echo, the entire group rushes in to rescue and unknowingly steps into a domino chain reaction. This approach turns the prey's unity into a fatal weakness. Vision is obscured by murky water. Movement is restricted. Pack coordination is nearly impossible. In this environment, the crocodile exploits the chaos to ambush a second victim, then a third. Dusk falls over Kenya. A pack of African wild dogs wanders along the river, spotting a carcass lying near the bank. An effortless meal requiring no energy. It may have been abandoned by lions or perished naturally. The pack gathers excitedly, calling out to one another to share the find. However, they have no idea they are trespassing into the territory of a ruthless predator. Suddenly, from the murky water, a massive Nile crocodile erupts like a lightning strike. The crocodile's surge is not simply a food theft. It is a brutal act of re-establishing geographic dominance. It clamps onto the nearest dog instead of the carcass. The crocodile has shifted the situation from a feeding dispute into a calculated hostage crisis. The wild dogs surge forward, using overwhelming numbers to tear into the crocodile's armored hide, forcing its nervous system to process multiple waves of pain at once in an attempt to disrupt a finishing strike in Animal Fight Night. They transform fear into a fierce collective aggression. The pack successfully converts emotional attachment from a psychological weakness into momentum to turn the tide. One fearless individual lunges in and bites at the throat, the critical vulnerability beneath the armor. This act is a calculated trade-off, accepting personal sacrifice to create a breach in the opponent's fortified defense system. The crocodile responds with ruthless composure. It thrashes violently and drags its prey deeper into the water, attempting to lure a second target into the river. African wild dogs use precise coordination in their bite and hold technique. Not to finish quickly, but to lock the opponent into a slow process of collapse. A pack of 10 to 15 individuals works in tight coordination, not rushing in with a reckless swarm. They latch onto the hind legs or the neck with a bite force of only about 317 pounds per square inch. It causes the prey to lose strength gradually and eventually collapse from exhaustion. This is a war of attrition strategy, not a finishing blow. Wild dogs don't need superior individual strength, don't need a lethal pounce, don't need a final strike. They win through the frequency of precise bites, seamless coordination, and disciplined withdrawals at the right moment to avoid injury. Sustained endurance turns them into masters of control. Even the strongest will fall if held down continuously, denied breath, denied stability. This is not hunting through raw power, it is locking the opponent into a collapse loop. Time becomes the most lethal weapon of all. But their opponents, the hyenas, use a completely opposite strategy. They don't waste energy on long chases. Instead, they threaten with numbers to overwhelm and steal the prize. A hyena clan doesn't rush in to strike first. They advance together a few yards, forming a horizontal line to cover the flanks and the rear. They growl, shake their heads, and snap at the air as a warning. Their goal is total encirclement, forcing the opponent to misjudge the true size of their clan. And making them believe that if a fight breaks out, there will be no escape, triggering panic. They steal a meal without needing a long hunt, conserving maximum energy in a brutal environment. The hyena clan launches a full-scale animal fight night from the flank, using a chaotic crowd pressure tactic. They charge straight into the center with aggressive, threatening body slams. Aiming to intimidate the opponent from the very first seconds. It's a brutal psychological blow. Using overwhelming numbers to shatter the teamwork that is the wild dog's greatest strength. Unshaken, the wild dog pack immediately counters with the bite and hold technique. The alpha charges forward recklessly, clamping its jaws onto the neck of the leading hyena. Meanwhile, the rest of the pack harasses from behind, stretching the formation and draining the enemy's stamina. But despite their efforts to regroup and use speed to drive the intruders back, exhaustion has left the wild dogs unable to hold on to their hard-won prize. Serengeti is slowly dying under a record-breaking drought. The land is cracked, rivers have run dry, and scarce food forces every species to fight for each bite. The mother leopard, with her faded golden coat and emaciated body from malnutrition, still relies on her seasoned hunting instincts to catch tiny prey, nourishing her cubs hidden in the brush. But this harsh environment has awakened the territorial instincts of the lion pride. They patrol relentlessly, not only to hunt but also to eliminate competitors like leopards. Those who share the meager food supply. A quiet tension spreads, the wind whistling through withered grass, signaling an inevitable confrontation. While on patrol, the pride of lions spots the mother leopard. They charge forward, their massive bodies displaying overwhelming dominance. But the mother leopard does not flee. Her innate instinct to protect her cubs drives her to lure the lions away. She uses her agile speed to dodge lethal swipes from the lionesses, slashing with her sharp claws at the enemy's face and neck. The lion's claws rip into her flesh. The mother leopard's emaciated body trembles, yet she continues to bravely distract them. This is not a routine animal fight for food, but a ruthless territorial animal fight, where the strong eliminate the weak to secure the meager food supply for their pride. An unforgiving law of natural selection. The pride of lions withdraws, leaving the mother leopard motionless amid the dry dust and scorching sun. Her severe wounds and emaciated body reflect the toll of a drought that weakens all life. Vultures gather overhead, circling and shrieking in the grim air that hangs over the scene. The mother leopard's survival instinct has pushed her to the limit. She had to sacrifice herself so her cubs might have a chance. But in this world, the weak have no refuge, and the harsh environment only deepens the suffering. The cubs' faint, desperate cries echo from the tree, drawing the pride of lions back at lethal speed. The lioness, which normally does not climb trees due to her heavy body, now defies instinct to snatch the prey. A rare act that proves her ruthless determination to eliminate competitors in a scarce environment. One cub slips and falls. It is finished instantly by sharp jaws, without even a chance to cry out. The mother and cub legacy shatters in a heartbeat, leaving only one lucky cub alive by staying on the tall tree. A heartbreaking testament to the law of natural selection, where the strong dominate to ensure the survival of the pride. Dusk falls, painting the Serengeti desert in red. The remaining cub is alone, trembling as the spreading darkness closes in, its tiny body facing a vast world full of predators. The laughter-like calls of hyenas echo from afar like a cruel taunt. A reminder that in this harsh environment, noise means doom. The instinct to adapt slowly awakens. It must learn absolute silence, to watch and hide in order to survive, turning the pain of loss into strength. A lesson from nature about resilience in the face of adversity, where the sacrifice of the previous generation paves the way for the future. At the end of the dry season on the Serengeti Plains, water sources have dwindled to nothing but the last muddy pools. A proud young buffalo is learning how to protect the herd under the guidance of an aging leader. The harsh climate forces the buffalo to migrate through the enemy's dangerous territory, where lions lie in wait. As the herd moves through a bend along the dried river, the old buffalo senses danger and takes position at the rear to protect the others. The lions lie motionless in the brush, their bodies pressed low to the ground to avoid detection. They measure distance and timing, selecting the weakest target, the aging buffalo at the back of the herd. Hunger drives their patience. When the herd reaches a point of no return, the first lioness explodes forward at terrifying speed, leaping onto the buffalo's back. A massive male charges from the flank, his powerful jaws clamping onto the old buffalo's neck as it struggles desperately. The crushing bite holds firm, dragging the prey to the ground. The lions succeed, pulling their victim into the darkness. The herd scatters in panic. This loss forces the young buffalo to face a brutal reality, marking the beginning of its journey into maturity. After the animal fight, the herd slows as it moves toward the open plains. A heavy silence settles over the air. The young buffalo stops, standing apart from the group. On its back, several oxpeckers hop about, picking away parasites and damaged tissue around an open wound. A quiet act of symbiosis unfolds. The buffalo remains motionless, its gaze fixed on the larger herd gathering ahead. It understands that strength alone cannot withstand the pressure of the lions. Without a sound, it steps forward, rejoins the herd, and helps reform the alliance's formation before the last light of day fades away. The next morning, as dawn breaks, the young buffalo resolve hardened bellows to rally the herd. The entire group begins to move, following the trail of blood and the lingering scent of lions. From a distance, they watch as the lions lie resting carelessly. Some are still feeding on the carcass, complacent and exposed. Suddenly, the bull roars, and the herd spreads out in a wide line. They no longer flee, they charge forward in vengeance for their fallen member. Leading the attack, the young buffalo slams in with its sharp, curved horns, hurling a lion into the air. The lion crashes to the ground in pain. The lions panicked and scattered in all directions. The buffalo continue the pursuit until the enemy is driven completely away. The first rains of the season pour down over the savannah, washing away the blood and dust left behind by the long, dry months. The herd buffalo stands still beneath the cool rain. The young bull formally assumes the role of leader with the consent of the entire herd. Its eyes now carry determination and responsibility. Life is reborn across the lush green plains, bringing renewed hope to the herd. Under the sweltering heat of the African savanna, a powerful baboon troop roams in search of food, led by a seasoned leader. They move like a tightly bonded family. From a distance, the pride of lions, silent predators, was lurking. Their bodies stay low to the ground. Sharp eyes tracking every movement of the baboons. They are waiting for a moment of vulnerability to carry out a lethal ambush. As the baboon troop is absorbed in digging for roots, the lions execute a perfect ambush. They have waited for hours within the tall reeds, carefully calculating distance and timing. Then they burst out all at once. A lioness leaps forward at terrifying speed, her claws raking across the back of a young baboon. while a lion charges in from the side, clamping his jaws around the prey's neck and dragging it away. The baboons scatter in panic, cries of pain echoing through the air. The seasoned leader stands frozen, eyes filled with pain and helplessness as he watches the young one disappear into the darkness. After the first bloody animal fight and its devastating loss, the baboon troop retreats into the branches of ancient baobab trees. They try to shelter from the scorching sun and their own fear. The heart-rending cries of a mother who has lost her child echo through the air, her grief plunging the entire troop into mourning. From a distance, a herd of massive elephants passes by like detached witnesses. Their somber silhouettes and heavy footsteps bear silent witness to the suffering without intervening. In the blistering midday heat, the baboon troop believes they are safe and climbs down to search for food. Their bodies are exhausted, their vigilance lowered. But beneath the shade of dense bushes, a leopard has been lying still for hours. Its cold yellow eyes track every movement. It calculates distance and timing, selecting a target, the member sitting farthest away, the easiest to isolate. Using a powerful burst of force from the ground, it launches forward at terrifying speed. Sinking its sharp jaws into the prey's neck with crushing bite force. The victim collapses. The baboons scream and scatter in panic. Once again, the leader witnesses another loss. The weight of accumulated grief hardens into resolve. He knows he must change. As dusk falls, after a series of losses, the baboon troop no longer scatters in fear. Instead, they begin to regroup. The seasoned leader asserts his authority with a deep rumbling call. He guides the troop into a ritual of mutual grooming, slow, deliberate gestures that restore unity and dull the edge of grief. This newfound cohesion transforms their vulnerability into a collective shield. No longer a collection of grieving individuals, they ascend the high cliffs in a disciplined line, seeking safety in the heights. Clinging to one another, the warmth of the huddle provides a silent promise of continuity. Though the losses remain, the troop settles into a watchful peace. In this stillness, they find the resilience to prepare to face the coming dawn, not as survivors of a tragedy, but as a single, unbroken force ready to reclaim their territory. The serval glides through its familiar territory. Its enormous ears, nearly twice the size of its head, stand upright like high-powered radar dishes, capturing even the faintest sound. But from the darkness, a bad omen emerges, the king cobra. A long, coiling body and venom capable of eliminating dozens of enemies in mere seconds. The serval senses the threat, its body going rigid, ready for a fateful animal fight. The serval does not hesitate. It launches at the king cobra with lightning speed. Cutting into a perfect arc to trick the snake into striking wide, its venom missing the target. Its flexible body moves in flawless coordination. Sharp claws flash in rapid feints, creating a dizzying illusion that leaves the snake disoriented. Then comes the decisive move. A precise bite to the head, crushing the skull. The snake thrashes for a few seconds before going completely still. The serval does not linger. It consumes its prey cleanly, leaving no trace behind. A perfect, clean sweep. An animal fight between a small predator and the king of venom. A few days pass. The wounds have healed, but hunger rises once again. The serval moves silently across the savannah under the harsh sun, slowing its pace in search of food. Suddenly, the wind carries an unfamiliar scent. Lions. In the distance, beneath the shade of low brush, a group of lionesses lies resting beside their young. This is a land that does not forgive carelessness. One wrong step can turn an ordinary hunt into a fatal confrontation. The serval freezes, razor-sharp eyes tracking every movement of the giants. Knowing that peace here is nothing more than a fragile illusion. A lioness spots the serval. It is pulled into an unwanted animal fight. The lioness charges with overwhelming force. One powerful swipe sends the serval flying, claws tearing into its side. Pain surges through its body, already exhausted from the battle with the cobra. New wounds pile onto old scars. Yet the serval's extraordinary endurance keeps it on its feet. It weaves through thorny brush, making sudden sharp turns to shake the massive pursuer. Its body trembles, but it does not surrender. A breathtaking escape, driven by an unrelenting will to survive. The serval slips into dense brush. Its rapid breathing slowly settles in the safety of temporary darkness. The serval lives alone, carrying the full burden of survival without any support. It needs food to recover. Its eyes scan the surroundings, spotting small prey moving nearby. They are quick, but the serval is not yet strong enough to strike. Its solitary existence forces it to wait, to calculate, and to recover before continuing the hunt. From the brush, the serval spots a group of grass rats. Its body aches, but instinct takes over. It bursts forward in a rapid series of leaps. The first jump launches nearly 6 feet into the air, radar-like ears guiding it with precision, forcing the rodents to scatter. The second leap cuts sharply, snatching one cleanly. The sequence continues in a blur, claws flashing so fast they leave the prey disoriented. Speed and extraordinary hearing flip the balance, turning an injured animal into a master hunter once more. The serval captures the final prey, a stunning display of technical precision. Tsavo, the harsh red land of Kenya, where iron oxide dust stains the lion's manes crimson. A relentless drought forces the pride to hunt without pause just to survive. A young male has taken over the pride after its father succumbed to illness. The lionesses follow, their eyes still filled with doubt. Woodpeckers appear in the nearby trees. They feed on insects, quietly cleansing the land and maintaining the balance of the savanna. But the wind carries a strange scent from afar. The trial is approaching. One where doubt may yet be forged into loyalty. A herd of buffaloes was gathered on the plain. The intense sun was exhausting them. Their once strong muscles were losing their agility, their movements slowing and becoming heavier on the dry, hard ground. The buffaloes usually lowered their heads, their necks moving little, to limit direct exposure to the blazing sun. But they became even more aggressive when their territory was invaded. The male lion sensed the suspicious gazes of the lionesses behind him. They hesitated because it was young and had not yet proven itself worthy of leading. This was the moment for the male lion to prove himself. It let out a low growl, signaling its men to surround the buffalo herd. It was not only hunting to feed its family, but also to assert its authority. The lionesses wanted to test whether the male lion's strategy was correct. The lionesses silently draw in from both sides with short bursts of explosive speed. The male charges straight into the center. Its powerful jaws locked onto the throat of the lead buffalo, striking precisely at the vulnerable point beneath the neck. The herd erupts in panic. Fear spreads as the lead animal collapses. The male lion's courage leaves the pride in awe. The buffalo scatter and flee into the distance. Its strategy has turned the tide, proving that leadership is forged through decisive action. The Tsavo afternoon sun softens, red dust settling. Scattered acacia trees offer rare pockets of shade. The young leader guides the pride to rest beneath an ancient acacia, exhausted after the animal fight. Desperate need for fresh water. Then, from among the sparse acacia canopy, a herd of elephants emerges. They move each slow step as if the savannah is parting to make way for the true rulers of the land. To them, the lions are only a small detail in a landscape they have dominated for generations. The elephants linger nearby, long trunks gently sweeping the red dust. Their calm eyes rest on the lions lying still, watching from a distance. No attack, no challenge. Only an overwhelming presence that stills everything around them. But thirst drove lion pride to the riverbank ahead. Danger is lurking beneath the surface. The scent of wet mud draws pride toward the murky waters of the Tsavo River. The cubs are drinking at the edge. They paid no attention to their surroundings. Below, the crocodile's eyes bulged, watching every move of its prey. Suddenly, a crocodile lunges forward, its razor-sharp jaws targeting the weakest cub. The male lion roars. A lion's roar, born deep within the chest, generates powerful sound waves that ripple across the muddy water, disorienting the attacker and exposing a moment of weakness. It leads the charge. The lionesses strike from both sides, opening a gap for the male to rake its claws across the crocodile's body, tearing into the exposed, softer underside. Caught off guard by the pride's coordinated assault, the crocodile is wounded. Its carefully calculated ambush fails. The crocodile releases its grip and retreats into the murky current. The calves are safe, trembling as they press close to their mothers.
Desperate need for fresh water.
Tsavo's sunset with softened light. Leo stands atop a rocky outcrop as the lionesses accept their new king. This is the behavior that forges family loyalty after brutal trials. The buffalo continue to graze.
Need for fresh water.
They survive to maintain Tsavo's ecological balance. Darkness slowly falls, carrying the scent of new trials ahead. Danger never truly ends.
Dawn breaks over the vast plain of Kenya. Danger lurks behind the dense brush. Near the mouth of a burrow, a warthog digs for roots. It is completely unaware that a pair of golden eyes is watching with hungry intent. A leopard, a master of stealth and lightning speed, has chosen this target to satisfy its hunger. With flawless concealment and precision, this hunter rarely fails. Suddenly, the leopard bursts from the brush. Using the cover of the environment to close in on its prey unseen. Its sharp jaws clamp tightly around the warthog's neck, powerful muscles dragging the victim away from the burrow. But a fatal mistake is made. From nearby cover, a second warthog is foraging. Hearing its companion's cries, it charges forward, slamming directly into the predator's flank. The leopard is caught off guard, freezing for a few critical seconds. Seizing the moment, the two warthogs coordinate flawlessly. They use a pincer tactic that turns the hunter into the hunted. Tusks and blunt force strike again and again. Panicked, the leopard retreats to save its life. For the first time, it tasted bitter defeat. The unity of two warthogs dramatically overturns the balance of power. After the animal fight, the two warthogs return to their herd and resume foraging. They typically live in small groups with clearly defined individual roles. When threatened by predators, one may act as a decoy while the other waits for the perfect moment to launch a fierce counterattack. They use their burrows as fortresses, combining tusks and powerful charges into formidable weapons to protect one another. No matter how strong the predator, it must pay a heavy price when facing such tight-knit unity. But peace never lasts. Conflict erupts when both warthogs set their sights on the same safe burrow a few meters. Brotherhood shatters in an instant as selfish instincts surge. They charge at each other without mercy, heads lowered, tusks colliding. This is an animal fight, head-on confrontation. A tactic that relies on raw strength to defeat the rival and claim ownership. The weaker warthog quickly falters, already exhausted from the previous battle. While the stronger one keeps driving forward, relentless in its assault. When resources are scarce, the instinct to compete can destroy any alliance in seconds. The victorious warthog now fully controls the burrow. It leisurely wallows in the mud, cooling its body while masking its scent from other potential threats. In warthog society, the group structure is flexible. The strongest individual defends the territory, but victory often leads to temporary isolation. After a series of intense clashes, it completely lets its guard down, no longer showing any sign of vigilance. A predator never truly gives up. The leopard waits in silence, watching with patience. When the prey is completely off guard, it uses the slippery mud to slow every reaction. With a lethal strike, it lunges for the throat. Killing swiftly and leaving the warthog no chance to fight back. The leopard's persistence prevails. And the warthog's moment of vulnerability after victory becomes an invitation to an unavoidable death.
This is Africa, where the Earth's heartbeat echoes in every season. When rains fall, they awaken a continent. Deserts bloom, plains overflow, and life surges in a chorus of abundance. Here, creatures live not by taking all, but by taking just enough to let their lands endure. We journey through the Serengeti's boundless savannas, Okavango's radiant deltas, and Congo's ancient forests to uncover a lesson older than time. True wealth lies in restraint. In the Serengeti, wildebeest sweep across the earth, 1.5 million strong. Their migration, a dance of survival. They graze lightly, leaving grasslands to heal. A 2023 nature study reveals this trek halts soil collapse, sustaining life for countless others. In Okavango's floodplains, elephants sculpt channels, sharing water with antelopes and birds. Rhinoceroses, battered by poaching's cruelty, graze with precision. Preserving savanna mosaics. A 2024 The Guardian report shares hope. Namibia's community guards have lifted rhino numbers by 12% since 2020. In the Congo Basin, rainforests cradle a world of plenty. Kingfishers dart through crystal streams. Gorillas feast gently in verdant canopies. Yet this splendor hangs by a thread. Since 1970, ravaged by deforestation, poaching, and climate's wrath, Congo's forests, Earth's lungs, lose 1.24 million acres yearly to logging. Okavango's lifeblood floods weaken as temperatures climb. Serengeti's wildebeest navigate corridors shrunk 20% in a decade. But these creatures offer more than a warning. They offer wisdom. They show abundance thrives when limits are honored. Hope rises in Botswana, where anti-poaching teams have slashed illegal hunts by 60% since 2020. In the Congo, 25,000 acres of gorilla habitat bloomed anew in 2024 through global reforestation. These victories prove we can mirror nature's restraint. What if we learned to live with enough? What if we guarded abundance as fiercely as these creatures do? Following the wildebeest's relentless surge, the elephant's tender grace, and the gorilla's silent strength, we'll find a path illuminated by their lives. This journey is a hymn to Africa's splendor. and a plea to save it. As the rains fall and the lands awaken, we're called to ensure this season of abundance endures. Africa's Serengeti is a realm where abundance weaves an eternal saga. As the rains recede, the grasslands shimmer gold, stretching beneath a sky so vast it humbles the soul. Here life thrives in a delicate harmony, where the land's pulse beats in tune with the movement of millions of creatures. At the heart of this grand ecosystem are the wildebeests. Whose migration forms the very rhythm of the savannah. This is not merely a journey, it is a force of nature. A pulse that drives the heartbeat of the Serengeti, shaping the land in profound ways. Over 1.5 million strong, they surge across the plains, a relentless tide etching trails into the earth. Their presence is a force that sculpts the landscape itself. Hooves pound the earth, etching deep trails that trace the path of their migration. With each step, they churn the soil. Their grazing clipping the grass in a perfect balance. Not too much, not too little. The grasses are grazed just enough to allow for regrowth, ensuring that the bounty of the Serengeti will endure for seasons to come. This is no frantic plunder, it's a symphony of restraint. Every step, every hoofbeat contributes to a delicate balance, enriching the land for the animals that follow. Among the throng of wildebeests, one cub stands at the edge of this vast spectacle. Its legs wobbly, barely a month into life. It clings to its mother's side, eyes wide with the world's wonder. The herd moves as one, bound by roots carved in their ancestral memory. Seeking the freshest grasses, emerald blades kissed by fleeting rains. Their grazing is deliberate, never stripping the land bare. As they move, they leave behind a trail of life. Dung beetles swarm to clean up. Vultures circle in the sky, and the soil is enriched by their presence. A study conducted in 2023 revealed that the migration of these wildebeests actually prevents overgrazing. Preserving soil nutrients and maintaining the balance that supports a whole web of life. This act of restraint, taking only what is needed to sustain their journey, is a testament to the deep wisdom of the wildebeest. But in a world of abundance, survival is never assured. The herd nears the Mara River, a powerful and unpredictable force. The river, its waters swollen and turbulent, hiding the silent predators that lie beneath. Crocodiles, their bodies submerged and their jaws poised, wait for the right moment to strike. For the wildebeest, the river crossing is the ultimate test of survival. The cub falters at the edge, its tiny legs struggling to keep pace. The mother nudges it forward, urging her young one to press on. Then, the mass migration begins. Thousands of wildebeests leap into the river. A chaotic maelstrom of hooves, horns, and fear. The cub is swept sideways by the current, its bleats lost in the roar of the river. Will it make it to the other side? In this fleeting moment, the calf's fate hangs in the balance. The river tests every creature that dares cross its waters. And for the wildebeest, it is a trial of strength, will, and luck. This crossing is more than a gauntlet. It's the lifeblood of abundance. The wildebeest march scatters seeds in their dung, enriches soil with their weight, and clears paths for new growth. Their restraint, grazing lightly, pressing onward, ensures the grasslands flourish for zebras, antelopes, and predators alike. But this harmony is under siege. Human sprawl has choked migration routes, per recent IUCN findings. fences slice through ancient paths. Farms encroach where herds once roamed free. The Serengeti's pulse weakens as these barriers multiply, threatening a cycle older than memory. The cub, drenched but defiant, scrambles onto the far bank. Its mother's nudge steadies it, a quiet triumph. The herd presses forward, their hoofbeats a drumroll of resilience. Their legacy is not just survival, but stewardship. By living within the land's limits, they teach that abundance is a trust, not a given. This wild animal documentary begins in the Serengeti. Where the wisdom of enough crafts a world that breathes with possibility. As the herd vanishes into the horizon, their story lingers, a call to honor the balance that sustains us all. Deep in the Serengeti's golden core, abundance fuels a primal ballet. The dance of predator and prey. Here the cheetah reigns, a creature of elegance and intent. A mother cheetah, with her cubs trailing through the tall grass. Their spots fading in the dawn's light. Her amber eyes sweep the plains, sharp as a blade. The cheetah's hunt is not driven by greed. It is an act of necessity, a mother's duty to feed her cub. In this land of plenty, she chooses with care, embodying the wisdom of enough. The savannah, lush and full of life, is her stage, but it is also one of competition and challenge. With muscles coiled like springs, the mother cheetah crouches low, breath barely stirring the air. A gazelle nibbles nearby, oblivious to the danger that looms. The cubs huddle close, their eyes wide, watching their mother's focus. She erupts, a streak of speed, covering 197 feet in mere heartbeats. The gazelle bolts, but she's faster, her claws pinning it to the earth, bringing the gazelle down in a single decisive movement. She takes one life, no more, leading the herd to graze another day. This act of restraint is more than survival. It is a conscious decision to maintain the balance of the savanna. A 2024 WWF Insight notes that predators like cheetahs sculpt ecosystems. Culling the frail to fortify the strong, ensuring the savanna's balance endures. But restraint demands sacrifice. The cubs, still learning, depend on her prowess. As she drags the gazelle to a shaded acacia, a lion's roar shatters the stillness of the savanna. Lions, bold and commanding, often claim cheetah praise. The mother hisses, her fur bristling, but the lion's bulk looms large. There is no room for confrontation, and so, with a final glance at her fallen prey, the cheetah yields. She retreats with her cubs, their bellies empty for the day. This moment of sacrifice highlights the cheetah's delicate balance of strength and discipline. She could hunt again, but she does not. The energy required for another chase could deplete her reserves, leaving her vulnerable. Instead, she holds back, her strength reserved for another day. This decision ensures that there will be food for the next hunt, preserving the intricate web of life that sustains the predators of the Serengeti. From hyenas to leopards and beyond. But the cheetah's story is one of uncertainty. As much as she embodies the wisdom of enough, her species is teetering on the edge. Habitat loss has carved away 30% of the cheetah's range since 2000. With human-wildlife conflict and poaching further threatening their survival. Fewer than 7,000 cheetahs remain in the wild. A startling statistic that underscores the fragility of this majestic predator's existence. The mother cheetah's survival and the future of her cubs depend on a savanna unmarred by excess. A place where the balance of nature can remain intact. As the sun sets over the Serengeti, the mother leads her cubs to a termite mound. Their small bodies tired but hopeful. Hunger still gnaws at them, but they rest, knowing that the dawn will bring another chance for survival. In the quiet of the savannah, the mother cheetah reflects the essence of life in the wild. A life lived within the limits of the land. A life where abundance and restraint are two sides of the same coin. As twilight drapes the plains in shadows, the cheetah's lesson burns bright. Her life is a masterclass in balance. A lesson that speaks not only to the creatures of the Serengeti, but to all of us. In a world of plenty, the true art of survival lies not in taking all that we can, but in knowing when to stop. The cheetah's journey is a call to us all. To thrive, we must learn to master the art of restraint. In the wild, the key to abundance is not to take, but to give back. In this way, the Serengeti's cycle of life endures, fueled by wisdom and the art of knowing enough. In Africa's Okavango Delta, abundance flows like a river. Its flood waters a lifeline in a thirsty land. Here, elephants and rhinoceroses, the continent's giants, wield their might with grace. At the heart of this wild harmony is an elephant matriarch. Her immense presence marking the path for her herd through the delta's winding watercourses. With tusks worn smooth by decades of life, the matriarch moves deliberately. Each step an embodiment of wisdom passed through generations. Her trunk plunges into the earth, coaxing the life-giving water to the surface. She sips sparingly, sharing the flood's wealth with others. This is the wisdom of enough, written in her deliberate steps. The matriarch guides her family to a lagoon. The herd's trunks curl gently toward the water. Each sip a vital moment of connection. Her cub, still just a year old, frolics in the shallows, spraying water in delight. Elephants are not merely consumers, they are creators of life. Their digging creates deep pools which serve as sanctuaries for fish. Crocodiles and egrets, enriching the wetlands for all species that depend on its bounty. A 2024 study found these deepened channels contribute to a 25% increase in wetland biodiversity. Sustaining life when rains vanish. The matriarch's restraint, moving on before a pool runs dry, keeps the delta's heart beating strong. Her family leaves the lagoon to rest and drink elsewhere, allowing the land to replenish and sustain others. This careful stewardship helps maintain the delicate balance that supports an array of species across the delta. From the smallest insects to the largest mammals. Not far from the herd, a rhinoceros grazes, his horn catching the sun's glow. His grazing is methodical, never destructive. He clears low shrubs, allowing grasses to flourish, and providing sustenance for smaller herbivores like impalas. The rhinoceros, too, is a keeper of balance. Yet, rhinos bear the wounds of human avarice. Poaching has left only 27,000 across the continent per I use here in record. In Botswana, community-led patrols backed by global support have slashed poaching by 60% since 2020, offering rhinos a fragile reprieve. The elephant matriarch and her herd continue their journey, leaving the lagoon untouched for others to use. The young calf presses close to her, weary yet safe. A symbol of the enduring bond between mother and cub. Their lives, intertwined with the rhythms of the delta, speak to the importance of care and responsibility. The matriarch's leadership is not just about survival. It is about ensuring that the resources of the Okavango continue to flow for all creatures, big and small. But the floods are weakening. climate change threatens the Okavango's seasonal rhythm. With a 2025 analysis predicting a 15% shrinkage by 2050. A change that could dry up the life-giving channels and jeopardize the livelihoods of countless species. Without these waters, elephants, rhinos, and countless others face a parched future. As dusk settles over the delta, the rhinoceros pauses. His breath steady in the cooling air. The matriarch's herd rests beneath the shade of acacias. Their large forms blending into the twilight. Their lives, woven into the very pulse of the delta, remind us that abundance is a shared treasure, one that must be protected. The wisdom of enough, of knowing when to give, when to hold back, is a lesson we must heed. The creatures of the Okavango teach us that true abundance is not about taking all that we can, but about nurturing the land and sharing its bounty. In a world that often seems driven by excess, the Okavanga Delta stands as a testament to the power of restraint. It is a place where life thrives, not through consumption, but through careful balance. A balance that we must work to preserve. As the floodwaters continue to flow, they carry with them the hope that we, too, can learn to live with the same wisdom and care, ensuring that the gifts of the earth endure for generations to come. In the heart of Africa, the Congo Basin cradles a world where abundance whispers through ancient leaves. This rainforest, the planet's second largest, pulses with life during the rainy season. Its canopy a tapestry of emerald and mist. Here, the forest's abundance is a delicate gift, sustained by creatures who take only what they need. Kingfishers and gorillas, dwellers of this verdant realm, embody the wisdom of enough. Their lives a testament to balance in a land of plenty. Along a pristine stream, a kingfisher perches. Its feathers a flash of cobalt against the water's gleam. With eyes like polished stones, it watches the current, then dives, snatching a single fish before returning to its branch. Its hunt is precise, never depleting the stream's bounty. Kingfishers regulate fish populations, ensuring aquatic ecosystems thrive. The bird's restraint, taking one fish, not a dozen, mirrors the forest's rhythm, where every creature plays a part in preserving the whole. Deeper in the forest, a gorilla family moves through the undergrowth. A silverback leads, his presence a quiet anchor. His young son clambers onto a low branch, plucking a ripe fruit with careful hands. The gorillas feast gently, stripping only what they need from the canopy's abundance. Their foraging scatters seeds, fostering new growth that sustains the forest's diversity. Gorilla seed dispersal supports 30% of the Congo's tree species. Weaving them into the rainforest's future. But this abundance teeters on a razor's edge. The Congo's forests face relentless threats. Logging carves away 1.24 million acres yearly, felling the very trees that shelter gorillas and kingfishers. Mining scars the earth, poisoning streams once teeming with fish. Climate shifts disrupt the rains, with a 2025 forecast predicting 10% less rainfall by 2040, starving the forest's pulse. The silverback's family faces a shrinking world. The kingfisher, too, feels the strain. Its stream, once clear, now clouds with silt from nearby mines. Yet, hope persists. Community-led patrols in the Congo, backed by global conservation efforts, have protected 37,100 acres of forest since 2023. Reforestation initiatives, planting 10,000 trees in 2024, are stitching the canopy back together. These efforts echo the restraint of the forest's creatures, showing that abundance can endure when we act with care. As twilight drapes the Congo, the kingfisher takes flight, its wings a fleeting shimmer. The silverback settles his family beneath a towering mahogany, their breaths blending with the forest's hum. Their lives, fragile yet resilient, remind us that abundance is no accident. It's a balance forged by those who know their limits. Like the wildebeest sparing the grasslands and the elephants sharing water, the kingfisher and gorilla teach us to tread softly. Can we protect this rainforest, ensuring its abundance for generations? In the Congo, the wisdom of enough is a fragile song, one we must join to keep alive. Across Africa, the season of abundance unfolds like a sacred promise, a testament to the resilience of life. From the Serengeti's golden plains to the Okavango's shimmering deltas, and the Congo's misty rainforest, wild animals have woven a story of balance. One that resonates with a truth we've nearly forgotten. To thrive, we must know what is enough. This wild animal documentary has followed their lead, revealing how their wisdom lights a path for us all. Recall the wildebeest, their migration a thunderous hymn to restraint. By grazing lightly, they nurture the Serengeti's grasslands, ensuring bounty for countless others. Their journey, etched across millennia, shows that abundance endures through collective care. It is not driven by need alone, but by the delicate balance of taking only what sustains and leaving behind what will allow the land to thrive again. The wildebeest's journey is a living lesson in how life's richness is not measured by what we take, but by what we leave in return. In the Okavango, elephants practice the same profound wisdom. These gentle giants carve channels in the earth, sharing water with creatures both great and small. The matriarch, leading her herd with grace, ensures that the floodwaters nourish the land without overwhelming it. This act of sharing, giving more than they take, is a testament to the sustaining power of restraint. Rhinoceroses, grazing with precision, clearing low shrubs to make way for grasses that will feed other herbivores. sculpting the savanna in a way that supports life rather than depleting it. The cheetah, swift and deliberate, hunts with the same precision. Her chase is not driven by hunger alone, but by the need to feed her cubs. She hunts only what is necessary, sparing the rest so the herd can continue to thrive. This restraint is part of the grand design, ensuring the balance of predator and prey remains intact. In the Congo, kingfishers pluck single fish from streams, and gorillas scatter seeds to renew their forest home. Each act, small or grand, reflects a shared creed. Take what sustains, leave what restores. This wisdom is not mere instinct, it's a blueprint for survival. Wild animals across Africa live within nature's limits. Their restraint a stark contrast to humanity's excess. Yet their world is fraying. The Serengeti's migration routes shrink under human sprawl, with 20% lost in a decade. Okavango's floods falter as climate change tightens its grip. Congo's forests bleed hundreds of thousands acres yearly to logging, endangering gorillas and kingfishers. These losses ripple beyond Africa, weakening global ecosystems. A 2025 study estimates that rainforest decline could release carbon equivalent to a decade of global emissions, accelerating climate chaos. But wild animals offer more than caution. They inspire action. Their lives prove that restraint breeds abundance, a lesson we can embrace. Imagine a world where we mirror their balance, consuming less, sharing more, protecting what remains. The Serengeti teaches us to tread lightly, the Okavango to nurture shared resources. The Congo to cherish what's irreplaceable. This wild animal documentary is not just a chronicle of their grace. It's a mirror held to our choices. urging us to redefine wealth as one we preserve, not what we possess.
As 2 million wildebeests, zebras and gazelles embark on a 500-mile journey across the vast Serengeti plains. Their path is fraught with challenges. Dry grasslands, perilous rivers teeming with crocodiles, and constant threats from predators like lions and hyenas. Yet, the wildebeest possess a remarkable ability to navigate. Ensuring they follow the same route year after year. As the Mara River churns and the sun casts long shadows over the plains, the migration continues, demonstrating the incredible resilience and determination. This awe-inspiring spectacle their endurance, but also highlights the beauty and danger that define the world's greatest migration. In this huge flow, wildebeest and zebra are the main characters. But are also the targets of predators. Every year, the vast plains of the Serengeti come alive with a migration of wildebeest and zebra, whose survival is intricately linked. Leading the migration are the wildebeests, some of the oldest members of the antelope family, with their unique curved horns and determined strides. Having evolved over 2.5 million years ago, they are more than just travellers. They are the driving force of the migration. As the rainy season begins, a remarkable synchronised birthing event takes place, with around 8,000 calves being born each day. This strategy, honed through millions of years of evolution, floods the plains with young animals, overwhelming predators and giving the calves a better chance at survival. Zebras, with their sharp eyes and heightened sense of awareness, move alongside the wildebeests, constantly on the lookout for danger. Their black and white stripes are not merely decorative. They serve a crucial purpose. Researchers from the University of Bristol discovered that these stripes confuse biting insects like tsetse flies which carry dangerous diseases, protecting the herd from illness. Moreover, when zebras gather in large numbers, their stripes create a mesmerizing visual effect that confounds predators, making it hard for them to pick out a single individual. Together, wildebeests and zebras form an unspoken partnership, each species bolstering the other's chances of survival. While the wildebeest provide ample food for predators, maintaining the delicate, the zebras keep watch, alerting the herd to imminent threats. From crocodile-infested rivers to lurking lions and hyenas, they navigate the wild together, relying on their evolutionary instincts and cooperative strategies. Through this unity, wild animals ensure their future and help maintain the fragile equilibrium of their ecosystem. But even the unity of wildebeest and zebra cannot hide them from the cold gaze of the supreme predator, the lion, the lord of the savannah. From the tall grass, a lioness's eyes lock onto her target. A lone wildebeest unknowingly strays too far from its herd, becoming vulnerable to the predators lurking nearby. Known for their strength and cunning, lions are one of the most formidable predators on Earth. The lioness crouched low, body thrust forward and ready to spring into action. Her pride isn't far behind, each member positioned strategically to execute their hunt as one. Every step is calculated, as the hunt is not just about strength, but teamwork. The lioness begins her approach. moving silently through the grass, her eyes never leaving the wildebeest. In a split second, she explodes into motion, racing toward her prey. The wildebeest, sensing the threat, attempts to flee, but the lioness is faster. She closes the distance with incredible speed and accuracy, her powerful muscles propelling her forward. In a moment of intense coordination, the lioness lunges and delivers a fatal strike to the wildebeest's throat. The fight is over in an instant, the power of the lioness overwhelming the once strong prey. Lions are not just lone hunters. They are masters of collaboration. Their hunting strategy relies on synchronized movements and flawless teamwork within the pride. Each lioness knows her role, ensuring the prey is trapped and immobilized. This complex cooperation is what allows them to maintain their dominance over the savanna and regulate the herbivore populations that help sustain the ecosystem. As the lioness and her pride feast, their victory is not just a testament to their hunting prowess, but also their ability to control and preserve the delicate balance of the savanna's ecosystem. While lions assert their power through strength, another predator, with persistence and organization, is also ready to compete for the prize: spotted hyenas, the tenacious warriors of the savanna. The spotted hyena, a highly effective predator, moves in a tight-knit pack, relentlessly pursuing its prey. Their stamina and speed make them formidable hunters, often chasing down their targets for miles. Unlike other predators, hyenas rely on endurance, wearing down their prey before making their move. As the hyena closes in on a wildebeest calf, their powerful jaws and sharp teeth become the final weapon. A hyena's bite is capable of crushing bone, and when they catch their prey, it's over in seconds. Their efficiency in hunting is unmatched, and their social structure, led by females, is key to their success. Spotted hyenas have a complex social hierarchy. The pack's leadership is determined by the dominant females, who are responsible for making key decisions during hunts. Their communication is just as sophisticated, with hyenas using over 10 different vocalizations, including tactical calls to coordinate during hunts. This highly organized structure allows hyenas to be successful hunters. Despite their smaller size compared to other predators like lions. However, hyenas and lions often clash in the wild. The competition for food is fierce, and hyenas are known to steal prey from lions, sometimes even risking their lives to claim a meal. This rivalry highlights the harsh realities of survival in the wild. Hyenas also play a crucial role in cleaning up the savannah. By scavenging carcasses, they prevent the spread of disease and help maintain the balance of the ecosystem. Despite their often negative reputation, hyenas are vital to the health of their environment. As the battle for food continues between lions and hyenas, the strongest and most cunning prevail. It is a constant fight for survival where only the most resourceful thrive. But the fight for survival doesn't stop at hunting, as lions and hyenas face off for a meal, another force watches silently from above: vultures, nature's cleaners. The battle for food in the wild is relentless, and the lions are often the kings of the feast. When a lion claims a prey, it is a moment of dominance. But this is quickly challenged. Spotted hyenas, with their sharp instincts and perseverance, will attempt to steal the lion's meal. The tension is palpable as the lion snarls, defending its hard-earned food. While the hyenas back off momentarily, waiting for the right moment to strike. This competition is intense, with both predators trying to secure their place at the top of the food chain. But as the standoff continues, another presence looms above. Vultures begin to circle overhead, silently observing the drama below. These scavengers, often overlooked, play a crucial role in the ecosystem. While lions and hyenas battle for dominance, vultures patiently wait for their opportunity to feast on their remains. Their strong stomach acid allows them to consume decaying carcasses without being harmed by harmful bacteria. According to WWF, vultures' digestive systems are capable of destroying bacteria, including anthrax, which helps prevent the spread of disease in the wild. Vultures may not participate in the physical struggle for food, but they are an essential part of the ecosystem. By cleaning up carcasses, they help maintain a healthy environment. Reducing the risk of disease outbreaks. As the lion and hyena fight for the spoils of the prey, the vultures silently swoop in to clean up the leftovers, ensuring nothing goes to waste. In the wild, every species has a role to play. While lions and hyenas fight for survival, vultures help maintain the balance, ensuring that the ecosystem remains in harmony. This constant cycle of competition and cooperation highlights the delicate interconnectedness of life in the wild. While lions and hyenas battle for dominance, another group of predators with perfect coordination quietly shapes the game. The African wild dog, the epitome of teamwork. African wild dogs are some of the most effective hunters in the wild, with a success rate of around 80%. Their strength lies in their incredible teamwork. Unlike many predators that hunt alone, wild dogs hunt in packs, using strategic coordination to track and catch prey. They work together seamlessly, ensuring that no one is left behind. This high level of cooperation also extends to their social structure. But into the African Wildlife Foundation, wild dogs have a unique communal care system where the entire pack helps raise and care for the pups, ensuring a high survival rate. This social bond is key to their success and survival in the harsh African landscapes. However, their hunting and social habits put them in direct competition with other predators like lions and hyenas. While wild dogs typically avoid direct conflict, they often have to compete for resources. In the wake of their hunts, vultures are quick to take advantage of any leftovers, feeding off the remains of the wild dog's prey. Wild dogs also play an important role in maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. By controlling prey populations, they help regulate grasslands and prevent overgrazing. Their presence ensures that the circle of life remains intact. With predators and prey all playing their part in the natural world. While wild dogs are highly skilled and social predators, they are also part of a much larger web of life. As the migration continues, it attracts not only pack hunters, but also a lone predator with unimaginable speed, ready to take its share. The wild is never predictable, and every encounter can change the course of the journey. If wild dogs rely on collective strength, then a lone predator dominates with terrifying speed. The cheetah, the arrow of the steppe. On a grassy knoll in the Serengeti, the cheetah watches the herd of wildebeest below. Its eyes are fixed on the prize, and with calculated precision, it picks out a single wildebeest. Without a sound, the cheetah launches itself into an explosive sprint. Its powerful legs carrying it forward with breathtaking speed. The wildebeest, though quick, has no chance of escaping. Within seconds, the cheetah closes the gap, its claws digging into the prey as it swiftly brings the wildebeest down. As the fastest land animal, the cheetah is capable of reaching speeds up to 60 miles per hour, outpacing almost every other animal on the savannah. Unlike lions, which hunt in coordinated packs, the cheetah hunts alone, relying on its unmatched speed and accuracy to catch smaller prey, like gazelles or wildebeests. The cheetah's ability to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds is unmatched. Giving it a critical advantage in the chase. However, the cheetah can only sustain these speeds for a short distance, typically around 20 to 30 seconds, before it needs to slow down. Despite its incredible hunting skills, the cheetah faces constant challenges. Hyenas, always on the lookout, often try to steal the cheetah's hard-earned meal. The fierce competition between these predators highlights the harsh realities of life in the wild. Cheetahs play a vital role in the ecosystem by controlling the populations of smaller herbivores, such as gazelles and wildebeests. This helps to maintain balance in the savanna's food chain. With their impressive speed, precision and agility, cheetahs are not only exceptional hunters, but also a keystone species. Ensuring the stability of the ecosystem they inhabit. They represent the raw beauty of wild animals and the importance of their preservation. But not all prey is easy to subdue. Among the cheetah's targets, the Thompson's gazelle stands out for its agility and excellent survival instinct. Thompson's gazelles are among the most agile and swift prey in the wild. Their small size and incredible speed make them difficult targets for predators, especially cheetahs. As one of the fastest land animals, they can leap over tall grasses with ease, often evading attacks with a quick change in direction. When threatened, the gazelle performs a unique behaviour known as pronking, where it leaps up to 6.5 feet into the air. This startling jump is believed to confuse predators and give the gazelle a better chance to escape. Though they may be small, Thompson's gazelles are constantly on the lookout for danger. Their eyes scan the horizon for any signs of predators, including cheetahs, lions, hyenas, and wild dogs. Despite their speed, they must rely on their agility and jumping ability to avoid being caught. They are frequently hunted by cheetahs, but lions and other predators also target them, making survival a constant challenge. Thomson's gazelles also play a crucial role in maintaining the ecosystem. By feeding on young grasses, they help keep the savanna's vegetation in check. This grazing contributes to the health of the grasslands and ensures the continued survival of other species in the ecosystem. The gazelle's ability to escape danger and their role in the environment highlight their importance in the wild. As part of the complex predator-prey balance. They provide sustenance for larger predators while helping to maintain the delicate balance of the savanna. From Thomson's gazelles to wildebeests, each species has a role to play in the grand scheme of nature. The natural cycle on the African savanna is a finely tuned system where each species is essential to maintaining the balance. Wildebeests, zebras, and gazelles are the keystone herbivores, supporting the predators that keep their populations in check. Lions, hyenas, wild dogs and cheetahs regulate the herbivore numbers. Preventing overgrazing and maintaining the integrity of the ecosystem. Without these predators, the delicate balance would collapse, resulting in an overgrowth of vegetation and a disruption of the entire environment. Vultures, often misunderstood as symbols of decay, are just as critical. They play a key role in cleaning up the savanna by consuming carcasses. Preventing the spread of disease and ensuring the environment remains free from harmful waste. Their role completes the cycle, helping keep the ecosystem healthy and functional. This interdependence is what sustains life on the savannah. And according to the IUCN, this web of relationships supports about 30% of East Africa's biodiversity. From the smallest gazelle to the mighty lion, every species contributes to the stability of the ecosystem. However, this fragile balance is under threat. Habitat destruction, poaching and climate change are pushing this intricate system to its limits. The animals that depend on each other for survival are facing an uncertain future, and it is up to us to protect them. Every action we take impacts the delicate ecosystem, and the need for conservation has never been more urgent. Preserving this natural wonder requires a commitment to sustainable practices and protecting the wild animals that depend on each other for survival. The Serengeti Masai Mara ecosystems are facing critical threats that jeopardize the survival of many wild animals. Habitat loss, climate change, and illegal poaching are rapidly diminishing the natural resources that these animals rely on. According to WWF, the wildebeest population has decreased by 20% over the past 30 years. A stark reminder of the pressures these species are under. Without action, the future of the Great Migration and the species that depend on it is at risk. Conservation efforts, like ranger patrols and reforestation projects, are vital in protecting these landscapes. Rangers work tirelessly to prevent poaching and safeguard wildlife. Meanwhile, tree planting and habitat restoration help combat climate change and restore essential ecosystems. These efforts are crucial to ensuring that the Serengeti and Masai Mara continue to thrive for future generations. Protecting these natural wonders is not just about saving individual species. It's about preserving the intricate web of life that supports the entire ecosystem. The survival of the wildebeest, zebras, lions, and other wild animals depends on our collective responsibility to act now. We must do everything we can to protect these iconic landscapes to keep the story of survival and migration alive.
The dog dragged into the water does not collapse. In the shallow water, it thrashes violently and breaks free from the crocodile's jaws. It crawls back onto the bank, severely injured but alive. The pack rushes in immediately, forming a protective circle around it. Unity and sacrifice do not always require fatality, only unbreakable resolve and timely counterattacks. The crocodile releases its hold and retreats, carrying wounds from the pack's relentless bites. In the wild, never underestimate the will to survive. Fear can spread like a virus, but unity and endurance can transform it into a weapon of resistance. Subscribe to our channel to witness more stunning comebacks on Animal Fight Night.